Hello everyone. In the last session, we have discussed about replication controller. As I mentioned, replication controller one role is because replication controller is a part of controller manager uh, uh, binary. So its one role is to maintain the number of replica. Then another thing is like, okay, if I'm creating three replicas, what it means is it is creating three pods, correct? So each pod is having a container image. If I want to upgrade the container image, how will I upgrade this container image? That comes under the upgrade strategy. Upgrade strategy. So this upgrade strategy is also the part of replication controller only. So what Kubernetes has done it, they have break down this component in two parts. One is maintaining the number of replicas. So instead of using replication controller, you need to use replica set now. Okay, replica set rule is to maintain the number of replica, to maintain the number of replica. And there is another component is coming here, deployment. Deployment is internally calling replica set to create the replica, and then they have the something called upgrade strategy also mentioned there. Upgrade strategy is that how to upgrade this replica pod, how to upgrade this replica pod. Now question comes that okay, I want to upgrade the replica pod. What is the problem here? See, first of all, understand the upgrade process for pod. So whenever you want to upgrade the pod container image, it is deleting the old pod and create the new pod. Create the new pod. It will not be placing the image or upgrading the image. Whenever someone says that okay, I am going to upgrade the container image inside the pod, it means they are deleting the old pod and creating the new pod. That is called upgrade strategy. So suppose if I am creating three replicas, these three replicas is holding your application, and why you are running the replica for high availability. So you want that okay, upgrade strategy is such a way that okay, any given point of time, the replica pod must be available, whether it is with the new image or with the old image. So that is the part of replica. So now we will discuss about replica set. So replica set whole role is to maintain the number of replica, maintain the number of replica, but no upgrade strategy is the part of replica set. Replica set doesn't contain the upgrade strategy thing. So it means is you need to use deployment for that purpose. But in the replica set, what Kubernetes has done it, they have enhanced the selector value, their selector things, they have enhanced it. Enhanced in the sense they have provided the set based selector and equity based selector. So equity based selector, you already seen it, key value thing, which I had shown you. Set based selector is something which is coming new. In the set based selector, what happens is you can provide multiple, so key can hold multiple values. So what exactly it means is suppose there is a five replica pod, I want to create it. Replica pod, I want to create it. Or maybe your team has assigned the resources or CPU and memory for the five pod to create it, five replica pod. Already, your teammate has created two pod with different label, different selector value. Okay, or maybe you can say different label. Sorry, not selector, different label. Now you only have the scope to create the three replica only, but you ultimately your desired state will be five replica. But when it creates it, it should consider this count as well, that there are two pods are running with the rep old uh, two pods are already running with a different label, not old label, different label. So let's go and understand this example in clear thing. So there is a I'll just show you. um, this is the pod replica set pod.yaml. This is simple YAML file is there. Okay, AKMS. This is the pod only. Okay, this is the pod I am creating it, and replica set pod.yaml. Just give me a second. Okay, replica set pod. I just remove this thing. So this pod is running it, and pod is using this label staging. So I just go and create this pod kubectl create hyphen f replica set pod.yaml. Okay, so one pod is already running with the staging label. Now I'll just show you replica set match label, not match expression, sorry. Replica set, oh sorry, match expression, replica set. So here, what happened? I am asking for six replica, but already one replica pod is running with this staging keyword. So ideally it should go and create the five replica only with the production label. Okay. So we have hardware resources allocated for the six replica, but I only want to run the five replica because there is already one replica pod is running with the staging label. Okay. So let's go and do this thing. Kubectl create hyphen f match expression. Okay. The replica set get pods. I'll just show you. See here, how many pods are creating? One, two, three, four, five. Because there is already one pod is running here. I just show you get pods hyphen hyphen show hyphen labels. So here you can see it. One replica is running with match staging, environment staging. Other five is running with the production. So total six replicas are running. But when it goes and when the replica set controller goes and start creating the replica, it will first check the label. If already one pod is running with the other label, and so it will only create the five pods. So that is considered in the count itself. Okay, I'll just show you here kubectl describe replica set. Okay, here also you can see it. It is only creating the five pods. So this is the example where you can use the match expression, and that is the one more enhancement on the selector side. Kubernetes has done it. So if I show you here how it is there, selector, you are putting match expression, key is one, operator in, and you are providing multiple values. So environment either can be a production or staging. Inside the label section, if it is production also, it will mark as my replica, or if it is staging also, it is mark my replica. That's the reason when I started one old pod with the staging label, it is marked as a replica, and that's the reason replica set is creating only the five replica, because already one replica is running with the different label. That is a reason we use match expression here. Now I'll show you the lab part. This is the match label one. Is similar like replica set only. The one which I have explained you match expression one. In the match expression one, what I'm doing it here is uh, I'm creating match expression five or six replicas, and then I'm trying to create the pod with the different same label. It will not allow to create it. Okay. Now if I go and do the reverse way, I deleted the replica set. Now I just did the same thing. I have just first created the pod, then I try to create the replica set. Since one pod is already running, it will run whatever is like six replica is there, so it will only create the five replica because one replica pod is already running there. So this is exactly where you will use the match expression. This is one of the use case. There are multiple use cases there where you can use the match expression when you want to match the label. You are having multiple label with the different values. So selector can go and pick all the labels which is provided there. Hope this is well clear to you. This is the lab which you need to perform it. This is lab number 2, which you will be performing in this link. And let me know your feedback about the topic. Thank you. Thank you for joining this session.